You are welcome once again to my channel. You are welcome to Catfish Solution Place. In here, we give you in-depth information about catfish farming. Once again, my name still remains Odutola Isa Abiodun, DTM, your great uncle on this channel, where we give you the much needed information you need about getting it right in fish farming. We are in a key episode that we called ways to alternate for cheap materials for your fish feed formulation. So that is what we are talking now in our episode 14. So I talked about your fish meal, how to source for a fish meal, and I talked about the source of our digestible protein in our formulation, which I talked about sourcing it. We source it from animal protein and plant protein. So I'll be going more forward, more deeper on this episode. I talked about your source of fish meal as an example to why you should alternate for a very good crude protein for good materials for your fishes. So I was talking about the protein now. So while I'm talking about the protein, so I made mention about sourcing for sourcing from animal protein and using other material you can find around you to get things cheaper that they have a similar crude protein. So I'll be talking about what we call the potato, just an example of what we call the sweet potato leaf. Sweet potato leaf, if you have it, most especially those people in the north, you can have what we call the sweet potato leaf to source for your to alternate for your protein. And again, we have what we call the feather meal to source for your crop protein. Just an example. So if you have some like what I saw, the sweet potato leaf and the what we call the feather meal has some level of percentage to substitute for fish meal. Sweet potato leaf has a CP ranges from 20 to 30% protein, crude protein. And so other plant leaf like fish meal has what we call the different kind of, we have different kind of fish meal. They have they have a crude protein of 72%, and they have the 62%, and we have the 60%, we have the 62%, and some are even 50% fish meal, depending on the manufacturer. I told you, so we have it from 72, 65, 62 respectively. So the cost of fish meal is very expensive, while you can get potato leaf free of charge. So once you can get potato leaf free of charge, they are waste for farmers. Potato leaves are waste for farmers, for those people that are producing potato. But a good source of protein to catfish farmer, it is waste for some people, but it's a very good source of protein for fish farmers and for animal husbandry, for those people into piggery and people into cowries. It helps too. You can use those alternative materials to reduce the cost of fish meal in your feed formulation. These are key important alternative material. I told you this is just an example to source for crude protein for your fishes. So you can use what we call the potato leaf, and we can use what we call the feather meal to alternate. And I just told you the ranges of crude protein that these products do have. Let me now go to, for those of you who may ask me, how can I process my potato leaf? You can. There's a way you process this. That means if you walk into any potato farmer, maybe you can get some people that are farming it, ask for the leaves from them. The leaves are not useful for them, they throw it somewhere and this gets spoiled, and for those people that has this she cows around, she goats around, I think they give it to them. It may even the farmer may be happy for you to come for them, and they will be willing to give you free of charge, because this will take them the stress for disposing the leaves. Yeah, after getting so much as possible, sun dry them. Yeah, you can sun dry them. You can use the normal what we call the dryer for our fish, for our feed, the dryer for the feed. Yeah, you just spray it on. I do it many times. You spray it on them and you put your charcoal, or you use your electric motor to the heater to do that, to dry them. So, but make sure that the level of the blower you are using, the blower will not be too harsh, and the heat will not be too harsh. So this can take a gradual process to dry very well. You can use this to dry what we call the maggot. We'll be talking about the maggot and so other things as we go on this channel. So we said you can sun dry it, and you can dry it through the machines I just talked about. Take it to any feed mill around you once it's dry, and they can help you to mix it with your materials. They will, since it's dry, they will help you to mix them with the totality of your material. So that means if you are using, just to alternate, if you are using maybe 65% you are using 65% fish meal, and you are using just 20% from maybe 100% formulation, you can use, since this ranges from 21 or 25 to 30% protein, you can use 30 to 40% or 35% of potato leaf, and you use other materials. And with that, you can use, because of palatability, you can use just 5% of fish meal for smell. So this, by the time you do the calculation, you will notice that your crude protein still remain at the ranges. Because let me give you an example. For ranges, for, I told you earlier, maybe in my episode 3, if you are getting 2 mm, it ranges from 40% to 45% for your fishes. So with this, you may not get 42%, but you may get 40%. So that means you are still on that ranges for 2 mm, and you may get it low. Maybe when you are using fish meal, you may get your per kilo for 1,000 naira, but once you used what I told you, you may get your per kilo for 700 naira or 600 naira. So you can see that is just the way of alternating for cheaper material. So I'll be telling you again how to process what we call the feather meal, how to process the feather meals. You can get your feather meals from the people selling chicken in the market. Yeah, there are a lot of wasted feather meals there. You can get from the abokis, you can get from the processor, those people are doing processing. You can get from those people that have huge market for chicken barbecue. Yeah, so you can source from that around you. For those people who may ask, where can I get it and how can I do the processing? Because most of the feather meal we buy in the market has been processed by somebody, and this is an opportunity for you as a farmer if you can access it. And for those of us who have broiler or any kind of broiler, because why I say broiler, because broiler entails you running into whole lot of processing. That means you kill a lot of broilers on a daily basis. So that's why I mentioned broilers than other chicken. So for those of you who can access broiler too as well, so you get a lot of feather meals around you, so you can use that too as well for your processing. And after taking it home, you get a bowl and parboil. Yeah, you parboil. That means you get a big bowl, that means a pot. You put some water inside. The first thing to do is to put it with a little water. You put it into the pot. You parboil. Parboil means you don't boil 100%. You can boil like 50%. Yeah, for 50% to 60 to 70% ranges. So you just boil like you are parboiling rice. Yes, that means it will not be that soft. Yeah, so just boil it so that this can kill any kind of microbes, and in the maybe any kind of microbes that may comes from the bad bacteria that may come from the chicken, and doing the process that you are taking it so that you can be safe. That's just what that is meant for. So you boil it to be a little bit softer too as well, to be a little bit soft, so that it can be easier to mix with your material. So after you parboil, this process will allow you to kill all the microorganisms in the feather meal, yeah, and the microbes, yeah. Then sun dry, or you dry the same process I told you. After well dry, take them to your feed mill and prepare for your feed formulation. Make sure it is well crushed to powder for to make sure that it's well crushed to powder form, and mix it gently. You need with your formulation. You mix it gently with your formulation. So note that once it's well dried and you take it to the, don't dry it. You may not, since you are using it in your farm, for those people that grind them, there's a specific grinder they use in grinding them, and it has to be well dried. But since you are using it with your formulation, it can still take it because you are adding it to other grains. So just make sure it is well powdered. It is important it is well powdered. Make sure that using the pulverizer. I'll be giving an example of how pulverizer works from this the base of the pond. You'll be seeing it how it works. You can get a pulverizer. You can get from our partner in China. Yeah, you can get a very good one from us. If you need that, make sure that you contact me, and I will link you up on how to get your doorstep anywhere you are in Africa. So a very good pulverizer for you, depending on the capacity you need. You need a pulverizer to get a well powdered formulation. This is highly important. And mix gently. You need to the percentage amount you need for your formulation. I told you, you may, if you are using feather meal now, because feather meal is high in crude protein, so there's a way you have to do that than the potato leaf. So I'll be talking about how to do that for you too as well. So because it's high in digestible crude protein, this may affect your fishes. So for it not to affect your fishes, I will tell you other supplementary that you can add up to heat, depending on the percentage and the likely percentage you can use to alternate for your formulation. So let us just go on. You say lot of materials that should be well processed before using for your feed. Example, maize too has to be processed. For those of you who don't process your maize, so make sure that you process your maize. It's important to take it to, for those, like if you are taking it to the feed mill, and because some feed may have what we call the steaming compartment, that this all your material will go through to parboil it a little before it goes into the pelletizer after grinding. So they have the shimming area for it to pass through it before it goes. So that means all the materials that you are sending goes into the processing of removing the microorganisms, the microbes from the grains, from the material. So it's good to pass through a very good process. I said maize, for those of us who are free, who have it free or very cheap to access, so you make sure that this as well go through the desired process. So from this point, I'll be ending up our episode 4, is it 14? Yeah, episode 14 for now, and we'll be going into what we call the episode 15. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you like and share. So from now, my name is Stephen Odutola Isa Abiodun DTM. Thank you once again, and God bless you.